Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 6 of our F222 Teo Porcher career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend in Azerbaijan. Of course, if you missed out on last week's action from the Monaco Grand Prix, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. And of course as well, if you missed out on the finale of our My Team career mode that went live yesterday, would definitely recommend that as well. Bottas and I for the Drivers' Championship, McLaren 2-2 Motorsport and Red Bull all duking it out for the Constructors. It was an insane final race of the year. I apologise again that for whatever reason my webcam didn't work through most of the recording. Fingers crossed that's not going to happen today, but I'm sure you'll be able to tell quite quickly as well there. But yeah, of course, we've got another championship battle going on in this career mode. Currently, we lead the way 7 points clear of Felipe Drugovich, and kind of looking at it after 5 weekends, 10 races, it is only going to be myself and Drugovich battling it out for this championship. Jem Bollock-Bassi in P3 there, already 73 points back, but a mega battle going on behind there with both Prema cars just a handful of points behind him ahead of Marino Sato. But we're still yet to get a pole position this year. Maybe that can change this weekend. Quickly as well, I just want to say a massive thank you as well for the continued support. Of course, we're closing in on 100,000 subscribers. We've got just over a month left, and we've got about 9,000 subscribers to go. So if you're not already, please do make sure you get yourself subscribed as well for daily Formula 1 content. Of course, F1 Manager will be returning Monday. My Team Season 4 pre-season testing will be back Thursday. We've got a busy few weeks ahead of us as we head up towards Christmas. But yeah, you definitely don't want to miss any of it. Let's get into it though. Baku returns in Formula 2. Right, well here we are then, back at the Azerbaijan city circuit, of course, for round 6 of the season, of course. Yeah, Baku, although it is a street circuit, just like Monaco, this place is a lot more based on how little downforce you can run, rather than how much. So just obviously going to make the normal setup tweaks that we do to the car, hopefully will give us a little bit of extra performance. Of course, I feel like the F2 cars are a lot less setup sensitive than the F1 cars on F122, so often you don't need to make as many tweaks. That's kind of roughly what I'm running week in, week out in this series, of course, with massively altered wings, depending on where we're heading. But yeah, long lap here. We need to make sure we nail this. Oh, no! Damn it! Oh, just got on the curbing at the final proper corner of the lap, and that's going to be our qualifying ruined here from the Baku City circuit. And I knew as soon as I clicked that curb and tried to get on the throttle, it was just going straight round on me. Looks like as well, even more worryingly, Felipe Drugovich is going to take pole position here in Baku as well. So that has been a nightmare start to the weekend for ourselves. We're going to be starting last place for both races here from Azerbaijan, but of course, you know, you can overtake around this circuit. It's not quite the end of the world, but this has very quickly become damage limitation.
The grid is all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, which are Dragovic, Volkpassi and Richard Verschoor. Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
I mean, look at that. A 1 minute 50 lap time round here, and there's 7 cars separated by half a tenth of a second. But it is Felipe Dragovic that is fastest across the line there. 8 thousandths ahead of Jem Volkpassi, and then 28 thousandths ahead of Richard Verschoor. Clement Novalak will be starting this one from pole in the other MP Motorsport car, so they've locked out both poles for the weekend. But Dennis Hauger, Jay and Aruvula, I'm sure both a little bit gutted there to miss out on the top 10. 15 seconds off the pace for us. Not quite the end of qualifying we would have wanted, but just got to get on with it, grit our teeth, and hope that we can somehow get back towards the points. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like.
Baku never fails to disappoint fans of Formula 2, so hold on tight. The cars are set on the grid and any moment we'll be starting today's race. Welcome to Azerbaijan. This is not your usual racing circuit. It provides one of the most complete tests for the field. Sector 1 sports a set of 90-degree corners, around the block if you like. Sector 2 gets even tighter with the old city walls. Sector 3 just turns 16 to negotiate, and then 2.2 kilometers, flat to the floor, full throttle, in 6th gear, all the way to the end. Joining me today is a man who is no stranger to going fast, Davide Valsecchi of GP2 2012 fame. Great to have you here today, Davide. Are you enjoying yourself here in the beautiful city of Baku?
Absolutely, Alex. Baku is fantastic and so distracting. Have a check. The architecture, the narrow street. Easy to see why it's one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar. But Alex, street circuits can be unforgiving. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a safety car or two out during today's race.
Right, well here we are then, on the grid, ready for the Azerbaijan GP sprint race, of course, first of all today. Game reckons you could one-stop this. It would only be 19 seconds slower, so maybe we've got a safety car. That could be worth it. I don't think, yeah, we haven't had a safety car yet, I don't think, in the entirety of this series. So we're just going to bring the front wing down by 1 extra click to make sure we got enough speed down the straights. Of course, the goal today and tomorrow is just going to be about trying to make as many overtakes as possible. If we can recover back to the points in both these races, that would be quite key there. Of course, top 8 score points in the sprint race today, so that's got to be the goal. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. Well, Teo Porcher managed a couple of pretty decent comebacks in real life 2022 in Formula 2, so maybe we've just got to try and channel that here today. Of course, we had a couple of really good races at Monaco last weekend, so I have definitely built up a lot more confidence in these F2 cars, as that's going to be purple on the lineup. Surprised that Armstrong is so far back as well, but let's get into it though. Azerbaijan GP time, 5 red lights. Is going to be lights out, and away we go. And Amaury Cordial there gets off to a lightning start. We were too afraid that we were going to hit the anti-stall as we head down in towards turn 1. We'll have a look to the outside of apparently a handful of cars there. Roy Nassani just about spots us there as we try and put the power down. Hopefully he's not going to squeeze us out like I'm pretty certain he did to someone in real life 2022 there, as we'll try and get the run off the corner on the Van Amersfoort car of Amaury Cordial there. Yeah, got a lightning start, but just have nowhere to go. We've gained 1 spot though on Marcus Armstrong as we head down in towards turn 3. Are we going to be able to try and have a look up the inside? Yes, we will, of 1 car, almost up the inside of Nassani as well. As we try there and just see if Cordial will back out of it. But of course, the problem with all these 90-degree corners is you tend to get a bit boxed in. As around the outside of Cordial we go. He'll be under pressure now from Marcus Armstrong behind, and look at this, just everyone line astern up the inside of Roy Nassani. It turns to the outside for the next corner, a bobble over the curb, so we'll give him the room. But there we go, 3 cars navigated then off the start of this race, and maybe we'll leave them to squabble with each other. There was Ollie Caldwell side by side. I think that's with Marina Sato just up the road. He'll slot back in behind him as we head through the castle section for the first time there, just take it nice and easy, nice and tidy on lap 1 is now Callum Williams, of course, race winner all the way back at Imola, if I'm not mistaken. Now car in P18, Raul Boschong just in front of him, of course. Just Boschong and Nissany still yet to score this year, as I actually wasn't looking for a move on Callum Williams there. I was just trying to avoid an accident, to be honest. That got a little bit sketchy down in towards the final couple of corners of the opening lap, but we have just about survived there. Looks like it is still Clement Novalak who leads the way ahead of, I want to say, Richard Verschoor, isn't it? No, Richard Verschoor's starting a bit further down the order. It's the other, no, it's not the other Trident. I can't remember who it is exactly in P2 there, but it's definitely Clement Novalak in the lead. I'm still trying to remember all the F2 driver names, despite the fact that the real life season has now come to an end. But you guys have got plenty more F2 content coming over the winter break there. But yeah, not a bad start for ourselves. A little bit of locking up. Whoa, down at turn 1 there, completely locked the rears up. But somehow we gather it all up and kind of slide the car through the corner. Sorry, yeah, of course, Logan Sargent running up in P2 at this early stage of the day. But yeah, really lacking pace early on here. And I don't feel like we've got a lot less downforce than other cars like I hoped. Got to try and get a bit closer to Callum Williams once more. So just very close to the wall there through turn 1, but really struggling for confidence in the car at the moment. It's been a little while since I played F1 22. I've not been very well this week. So yeah, I haven't played it actually in about 5 days. And of course the F2 cars just take that little bit more to adjust to. They're very weird, the driving style still. I do really enjoy them, but they can be quite strange. But yeah, just got to get on with it, get our head down, and try and get back within range of those cars in front, and hope the carnage ensues. I think, of course, this is the problem with Baku as well, where there are just so many traction zones. It's definitely one of the things the AI are very OP on F1 22. Not as badly in the Formula 2 cars, generally, of course, because they've just got less power and with the way the turbo lag works, but they definitely are still very strong. And, of course, when they're all in a train like that, they're carrying each other down the straight. So we've got yellow flags out, though. Someone's got issues. Who is that going to be quite early on in the weekend? It's Roy Nissany behind us. That's not really going to help us out much. It's green flag racing now. So Roy Nissany behind me. Don't exactly think he was going to set the world alight this weekend. No, it's not Roy Nissany. It is, I think it's Fred Vesti who might be out of this one. Whoa, yes he is. And I was too busy looking at the mini-map to realise that I was almost heading for a very high-speed collision with Fred Vesti there. So our teammate out of yet another race, of course, out last weekend in Monaco, and I've almost crashed into him, which would not have been good for ART. There is definitely a big train of cars forming though, so I wonder if someone at the front of this group has got some sort of mechanical issues, but it is going to bring us into this race as we get closer and closer, pretty much now at half distance actually, here in the sprint race from Baku. And yeah, now finally, for the first time today, we're inside the DRS range of the other cars, and often before this season we found in the sprints especially, it takes me a few laps to kind of get up to pace, and then whether it's just the AI taking a bit more out of their tyres or what, we seem to come on strong in the second half of these sprints. And I mean, this train really does extend up well inside the top 10 there. I'm into like 7th place if I'm not mistaken. That curb I still should not touch. I don't know why I keep risking that every time round, because it's definitely compromising me out of the final corners, but tyres still looking good though, as Clement Novalak, another new fast lap of the day. Him and Logan Sargent have checked out of the front of the field there, but now Fittipaldi starting to up the pace. But yeah, now we're finally inside the DRS range, and we start making some moves. After that one, it's been pretty quiet up to now, as that's like Armstrong, new fastest lap of the day. So clearly, yeah, him behind us is looking fast as well, looking racy. And let's see this time around then if we can try and get a run on Callum Williams out of the final corner. Actually got the nose tucked in quite nicely that time, and didn't have to get any wheel spin over the curbing off the exit, just hit it slightly differently as well. Look at that Williams, maybe just struggling, a little bit for confidence, perhaps that's why he lifted out in the dirty air there, somehow just gliding up against the wall. That was a little bit scary. I mean, if that was real life, there's no way we wouldn't have ripped a wheel off there, but the damage model on F1 22 can be fairly lenient. Side by side back in towards turn 1, speeds around 200 miles an hour. The Trident car just going to get squeezed out over the curbing. We're going to be side by side down in towards turn 2. Here goes Williams. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact as we both try to battle over P17, but it is now ours. 5 laps to go. We're starting to make a little bit of progress again. But we're going to have to make a lot of moves before this race is done. The only point we're going to be able to try and get today would be the fastest lap point. I'm pretty certain in Formula 2, anyone can claim that bonus point. You don't have to be in the top 10 like in F1. So again, just... This is, of course, the other problem with Baku is there's quite a lot of corners. Turn 1 is definitely one of them, where it's quite actually difficult to spot a braking point. So I keep using my F1 braking point, which is almost doable in a Formula 2 car. We've got big battle going on up the road. A couple of cars forcing each other down towards the inside wall. I think that was Ollie Caldwell and Marina Sato, but 4 more laps to go up the inside of Ralph Boschung. Try and catch him by surprise. A lot of curb, but we do make it work.
Good job, nice overtake.
Mark loving that one, but yeah, this is what we've got to start doing a little bit more now. Taking our chances, of course. We're starting the feature race tomorrow from last anyway, so we may as well just start taking big risks. I noticed the AI are often quite early in the breaks into here. You know what, Liam Lawson, thank you very much. P15 now ours. We've just got to start taking risks, because unless we score points, we're going to be starting at the back anyway. Well, we're going to be starting at the back either way, so may as well risk it and try and see if we can get to the points. Otherwise, we lose nothing by doing all of this. Jack Doohan up next, sending his UNI Virtuosi, as I think, yeah, Jay and Arubala has now been jumped by Sato. I mean, we have now got a train of cars that I think extends up into 8th place here in this race. Looks like Felipe Drogovic has been able to break free, as we've now got a fairly good run on Jack Doohan at the final corner. But 3 laps to go. Yuma Owasa now setting the new fastest lap of the day. Is Doohan going to give us the room? He's going to pin me right to the wall as we head back down in towards turn 1. Look at this, there's just cars going for it everywhere. In towards the first braking zone. Jem Bollock-Bassey trying to defend for all his worth there. Jack Doohan almost hits the inside wall. We almost run to the side of him off the corner, but just about pull off the move around the outside. And look at this, Ollie Caldwell now just trying to sit back maybe for a brief moment and watch how this is all going to unfold ahead of him, because we've got Fittipaldi, both Premers. We've got cars further up the road in front of them still all trying to go for moves as well. Up the inside of Caldwell, tyre warning light has just flashed up as well, so got to be a bit careful of that towards the end. But we've got both of the Charouz cars, if I'm not mistaken there. Both Premers involved in this. Jan Rubela now is suddenly going to get caught out. What on earth is going on? We've just got so much more grip than some of these cars around us. Have we just looked after the rubber a lot better than a lot of other cars? Because we're just picking them off now. Suddenly up into 11th place in this sprint race. Oh, big lock up at the rear there. So clearly these tyres haven't got all the grip in the world, but it's all just kind of happening late on in the day. This race is becoming crazy. As Sato now up into 8th place, he's pulled off like 4 cars in a lap as well. What on earth is happening? I can only assume then that the AI late on in the day have just taken a bit more out of their tyres than we have. 2 laps to go now. I'm trying to apply some pressure to Dennis Hauger. Up the inside will go on the Prema driver. They're a big brave dive bomb. And you know what? Points might not be impossible after all in this sprint race. We have picked off so many cars late on in the day. We only have to try and pick off another couple there as Chembolok Bassi and Marino Sato separate us from the points. Drogovic, I think, is up in... no, Drogovic is now up into 6th place. So I think there has definitely been a lot of drivers that have taken too much out of their tyres early on and then have struggled towards the end of this race there. And somehow we've looked after them quite well. You know, maybe shades of the Australian Grand Prix and the Haas Road to Glory there, where we managed to no-stop that Grand Prix and take the win in tricky conditions. A little bit of a wobble as we went out of the castle section, but as long as we stay inside the range of Chembolok Bassi. 1 more lap to go then here from Azerbaijan. And are we going to be within the DRS range of Chembolok Bassi? Looks like Sato is just trying to pull away a little bit on this final lap of the Grand Prix. But we are definitely going to be within range of Gem, but we're going to have to try and use him to get closer to Sato by the end of this one. And maybe, just maybe, that 2-second gap is going to be too much to try and overcome on the final lap of this one, especially if I break that early. Down at turn 1, it's going to allow me to get my throttle quite nicely off the corner, but yeah, definitely been a lot of different tyre life usage in this race then that has led to quite a crazy finish. You know, Baku started out fairly calm today, but it has certainly picked up later on in the afternoon as we head down in towards the next couple of corners. I mean, the top 10 is not bad going from the back of the grid, but I would have loved for it to have been a couple of points here instead, as through this tight technical first sector we go. Of course, nowhere near as technical as Sector 2, but still can be pretty scary on a set of tyres that are now feeling very much dead, to be honest. Sato still, yeah, 2 seconds up the road. I think we can kiss goodbye to that, but we might be able to get a drag race between myself and Bollock Bassi at the final couple of corners, depending on how close we can stick to the other Charouz car then. Nice run through the castle. Don't allow the back end to get loose and lively through the top of the circuit. Of course, highest point as we head around the old town, and we are getting closer and closer to Gem on this final lap of the day. It's not going to be for any extra points, but it may as well just have a little bit of pride on the line as well there as we head down the hill. I think, yeah, Gem Bollock Bassi's tyres are completely gone. Ours are not far behind, though. As through the final couple of corners we'll go. Oh, big wobble there as we try and put the power down. It is going to depend on whether Gem Bollock Bassi has to lift out through this final chicane, whether he's got the confidence. Clement Novelak is going to take the race victory, and look at this, we are closing in on Bollock Bassi. Use all the slipstream, use the DRS. Is it going to be P10? Is it going to be P9 here in Baku? I think we're going to have enough overspeed on him. Gem Bollock Bassi goes defensive to the outside, and that'll be P9 and fastest lap.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And that brings to an end another great race. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
Although the Formula 2 cars are all the same spec, the winner just looked better out there. It would have been a combination of getting those tires up to running temperature faster and driving to the condition on track. They made it look easy out there today.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be MP Motorsport picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. The lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Difficult call, but I'd like to say Théo Pourchaire. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of the TYRES, and he showed that today.
And now a look at the team standings. MP Motorsport moved further clear at the top. Another team that excelled today was Dams, who make further progress up the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, there we are then, the end of the Azerbaijan sprint race, and it is Clement Novelak who walks away with the victory today. They managed to somehow break free of the DRS from Logan Sargent late on in the afternoon. Awasa P3 ahead of Vips, Hughes, Drogovic for sure, Sato there, and yeah, we did sneak away that fastest lap on the final lap of the race there. Both myself and sorry, it was obviously Gem Bollock Bassi we were battling, wasn't it, towards the end there. So, I mean, we did score a point, which is kind of worth it when all is said and done there. So very, very happy with that in the end. When you think we overtook 13 cars in 11 laps there, 10 of those came in about the last 6 laps. So, yeah, we came on strong later on in the afternoon there. Of course, just our teammate Fred Vesti didn't make it to the line, means championship-wise, 3 points now the gap has come down to at the top of the table. Novelak jumps Williams, Sargent jumps Doohan, Awasa jumps Caldwell and Liam Lawson there, with Vips jumping Armstrong and Fred Vesti, and then Jay Hughes as well jumps his teammate Amory Cordeal. Constructors-wise, though, yeah, MP, it's going to be tough to try and outscore them this year. Cordeal is actually delivering quite some decent results there. Van Amersfoort and Dams, though, jump Campos right at the bottom of the running order. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and we will return tomorrow ready for the feature race. That's going to be good. I feel like points are definitely still on the table. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.